I wish that Zoom allowed us to have like smoke machines and the dazzling lights and the disco balls because this is like, I feel like a Taylor Swift fan with our guest for tonight. I'm, I don't know, Keith, you're gonna have to come up with some kind of like Swifty type name for your fans who have just been so life changed by your book and just our businesses being able to, yes, fireworks somehow to just express our gratitude and thanks for not just building your own business, but then coming back and helping so many people just get to that next level that we're all wanting to do. And so I'm so excited to have you on here and just feel free to share whatever you have planned for us. We're so excited.
All right. So, quick before we get going, if anybody gets this right, they get a free signed copy of my book. What character does Rodney Langford collect? And if you,
That's the best.
or close. Oh, Megan's really close. She's got to get it right, though. Oh, Megan got it. Phil
Oh,
got it too. I love it. We
I
were just
love
talking
it.
about the collection earlier. All right. So you shoot me a direct message, whoever, because I'm going to forget by the end of this. By the way, if you have ADD, you can 100% build this business. You're going to find out, like, if you haven't listened to me before, there's a lot of squirrel moments that will probably come up, but we'll bring it all together. Um, I'm going to start with something that I did with my team the other day and was probably for this time in the world, and in everything that was going on, they said it was the most impactful thing they ever did for their life and their business right now. If I told you guys that I could save you like anywhere from say $1,000 to $20,000 this year, would that be of interest? Would that be valuable to you? This is where you can go ahead and go in the comments. All right, we'll do all that whole thing. So this is a practice that I used to do, and I don't know about you guys, but I got really busy with life over the last couple of years, really busy with COVID, and my wife and I realized that our expenses were way more than what they used to be. Can anybody relate? Anybody like, dude, what is up with all these expenses? All right. So this one thing, and you guys don't have to include me in this, or you could send me a direct message on Instagram or whatever after. But this one activity literally saved our family $67,000 this year. All right, you ready? I want you to go through and print out your entire last year of statements. So credit card statements, bank statements, uh, Venmo statements, PayPal statements, wherever it is that you transact money. And this is going to sound really simple, really basic, but trust me. And if you have one of those apps like Mint or something like that, like go back over a year, you have to do it for a year though. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go through and I want you to circle every single thing that falls under one of these categories. Either one, you haven't used it within the last month. Two, if you absolutely had to next month, you could go without it. 3, look for duplicates. 4, things that you could reduce. 5, things that don't bring value to your life anymore. All right. I'll pause there for a second. So here's what happens. We're sitting at home and our friend tells us that this new series is on, and we've heard so many good things about this series, but this series is on Cinemax or this series is on HBO. So we get HBO and now we don't have guys, that could be $10 a month. Oh, it's only $10. That's $120 a year. Right? And we forget about it. You know the best one? We found 2 HBOs. And we weren't even using it. We had 2 HBOs hitting our thing. Here's the thing that you have to ask yourself, because this causes a little bit of anxiety. Or just tell yourself this. All the channels that you have to have. And for you guys that have been building this business for a while, all the canvas and this and that and all the things, delete them all and add them back in if you need them. You can always add them back in. That's the key to this thing. Be aggressive with deleting everything because you can always add it back in. And for us, it was it was 2 Canva accounts. We switched from ClickFunnels over, which was $360 a month, over to Flowdesk, which was $35 a month. Our family saved 60. I got a lot of kids. I got a lot of expenses. We got multiple houses, but we saved $67,000 annually doing this. I want you to write this down. It's not that you don't have enough money. It's that you're not allocating the money to the right things. I'm going to throw another couple things out there. You don't need to pay for another Instagram training or another recruiting training or another this, or you got to do the work. Right? We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. Here's what I would recommend. Make a game out of this, so why are we doing this, right? Things got more expensive over the last couple of years. Yeah, Rocket Money does do that, Amber. It's awesome. All the stuff, yeah. And the reason that we want to go through and go back a year is because we're going to miss the annual ones if we just go back a couple months. So go back an entire year. And again, do it ruthlessly. You can always add it back in. But here's what happened over the last couple years. And I'm going to speak generally here, but we put the blinders on and we're pretending like it's no big deal. We're pretending like it doesn't matter, but we have to go in and look at this stuff. We have to go in and take an honest look. And again, be ruthless with it. Here's the reason that I think this is one of the most important things you can do in your business. We're going to kind of get a little real tonight, guys. The reason that I think this is the most important thing is because the biggest thing that's plaguing people in our industry that are not finding success is fear of their financial situation. And we're going to get real. That's why people are jumping on the this bandwagon and they're slinging this thing and then they're doing master resell rights and all of that stuff. Not bad in itself, but it ruins your reputation over time when you're always doing something different. We're sitting in the driver's seat. So I was telling Rodney and Alita earlier, my mentor, the guy, so I hired a guy to mentor me 13 years ago. This guy built a downline of 70,000 people, and he never did a single thing on social media. He never did a single thing online. We're living in a time that we can meet the entire world. It's not the opportunity. It's not that there's something wrong with the opportunity. It's not that there's something wrong with the company. It's not that like any of that. It's that we're not focused and disciplined enough. And if we start with our finances and we get a little bit of breathing room there, it's going to allow us to just take a step back, to take a breath, and to start acting from an inspired point. All right. That's a heavy way to start. Does that make sense to everybody, though? I'm telling you, go through, do that activity. And this is an activity. You want to hear the like bigger part of this activity? This is an activity that we're incorporating into our business opportunity presentation. Why do we do that? Because for two reasons. First of all, we just helped people. So many of us, like, we're just trying to get people to sign up. We're out there to help people. We're out there to serve people, right? We help people, but we also just freed up money to do this. Right? We just freed up a ton of money for them to actually be able to build their future. All right, real quick, in the comments, what's everybody struggling with right now? One thing. What's your biggest thing that if you can get over this hurdle, it's going to change everything? I love the honesty, Lindsay. I know you guys know how to type. I saw all those ones. Duplication, 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 mindset, prioritization, discipline, people committing. Retention, reaching out consistently. All right. All right. I love it. Financial. All right. You got your one thing. You remember what your one thing was. Is there anybody in the history of Plexus that's been in your situation that's overcome that one thing? Right? So we have to understand that it's not the situation, it's us. Your product isn't Plexus, your product isn't the pink drink, your product isn't the gut, whatever you guys call it, the gut product. Your product isn't even the business opportunity. What's the product? Right? We're the product. So we have to understand this, and we have to understand that you just got handed the keys to the best business model. I've always called this, it's a franchise prototype. So what do we mean by that? think about a McDonald's, right? A McDonald's is a franchise. You cook the fries the same way, you do this the same way, you do that the same way. And your success is pretty predictable when you buy a McDonald's. Not many locations fail. When you got involved with network marketing, by the way, in the comments, how much do you think it costs to start a McDonald's? How much money do you have to take out of your own pocket? And how much money do you have to get in a loan? Oh, Emily. Emily, you got a couple more zeros to that one. Yeah. So the average McDonald's is 2 to 5 million bucks. Average business loan, you got to put down 2%. I mean, sorry, 20%. Right? You know how much you make for that on the average McDonald's? $250,000 a year. You know how much you have to pay to become a Plexus ambassador? You know how much money the top people make? I had a friend, her name's Morgan Rieger. You guys should follow her. Awesome, awesome woman. Um, the reason I like to recommend her is because she's building a business, but her life comes first. Morgan Rieger and her husband owned a what the heck? Quiznos. You guys ever heard of Quiznos? Everybody knows Quiznos, right? So they own this Quiznos franchise and they are trying to sell it. And I was like, why would you ever want to sell this Quiznos franchise? Like, I knew the money that they were making with it. I was like, why would you ever want to sell this? And she was like, Keith, it's just not worth it to me. And I was like, how's it not worth it? And she said, well, we have a manager at the Quiznos. We have like 5 different employees. We have to order all the products. I have to do the payroll late at night. If somebody calls in, we have to deal with that. We've had problems with theft. We've had food costs are through the roof right now. We have a mortgage that we have to pay for the building that we own. We have to pay all the electricity. We have to do the phones. And she went on and on and on. And I was like, all right, but it still makes good money, right? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, so I don't get it. And she was like, well, what do I have for overhead for my network marketing business? And I was like, well, you get your computer, you get your phone. I was like, you probably got a good accountant, so you're probably writing off a bunch of stuff, right? That could go either way. And she's like, yeah. And she goes, we would have to own 13 Quiznos to make what we're making with our network marketing business. So that would have been like 100 employees, 13 managers, regional managers, 13, all of that. But guys, we get caught up in thinking we're in this little, like, I got my little hobby business, I got my little side thing, and that's cool. Like, if that's what you want. When I got involved in this industry, for the first 6 months, I didn't do anything. Signed up 2 people. Signed up 2 people my first like week, and then 6 months went by and I didn't do anything. I didn't understand the opportunity that I had. I didn't understand the opportunity that I had sitting right in front of me. And then I saw this woman walk across stage with, you've all seen him, with that big old fat bonus check, right? And I started thinking, I was like, she's got to be like one of these network or these um like social media. It wasn't even social media then, like banner ads or whatever, like some internet marketing like wizard, or she must have paid someone so much to do this. And it was like, no, she was a group fitness instructor before this, and now she's not. And I said, how did she do that? How many pink drinks does she have to sell to do that? I don't understand. Like, it doesn't make sense. How many packages does she have to sell? And my mentor said to me, Keith, you don't understand. This isn't about what she does. It's about what duplicates. And that's what we all had in here, right? We all had in here a lot of duplicating. I saw a lot of that, right? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean up our finances a little. So you're going to go back after tonight, spend a week, whenever you're going to do it, you're going to clean up your finances a little bit. It's going to give us a little bit more breathing room than you have right now. And then we're going to start thinking about this business, and we're going to think about it a little bit differently. And here's how we're going to think about it. And I am going to say the corniest thing right now. I've been working a long time. I don't know. This just popped into my head. I'm going to tell you a story of my friend Pat and a story of Keith. And I want you to be like Keith. All right. So 13 years ago, Pat and I started working. Pat was a monster recruiter. Our first year, Pat recruited over 1,000 people. I recruited about 40. And Pat did that year after year after year. Fast forward to 5 years in, Pat had a team of just over 2,500 people. I had a team of over 30,000 people. Why is like in this industry, how many people would love to be able to kill it in this business without doing two things, without hustling your face off and without having to recruit 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people a month? Because that's the people that we look at and we say we can't do that. I'm not a social, like, go look at my social media. You'll be like, how is this guy remotely successful? It doesn't make sense. Write this down. Learning how to get good at recruiting will make you a little paycheck. Learning how to get good at duplication and building leaders will build you a fortune. You only need two skills in this business: the ability to attract talent and the ability to develop talent. I'm saying the same thing in a different way now. The ability to attract talent pays good. The ability to develop talent pays super good. So we're coming back in and we're looking at how do we actually get duplication in our downline? How do we get people to sign up? How do we get people to do something? But there's other people out there that are doing this. And Plexus didn't give them the different business plan, right? We all got the same, well, not we all, you all got the same business plan. So what are the people that are doing, what are they doing differently? And I know some of the big recruiters in Plexus. I was on a one-on-one call with one of them last week, and I was like, you need to stop recruiting so many people. You need to start developing leaders. You need to start creating duplication. So here's how we do it. First of all, it starts with intention. For anyone that's read my book, you like my intention, or anybody that's been on my trainings, my intention was clear. I want to find and develop 5 leaders. Every single thing I do around my business, check this out. It doesn't change what I do. It changes why I do it. Does that make sense? Let me just elaborate on that a little bit, just so everybody gets it. You don't have to go and switch what you're doing if you're doing something. If you're doing something consistently, you can still bring in the customers, but you're bringing in the customers to find the people who want to work the business, to find the people who are going to become leaders, to find the people who are going to become rock stars. Does that make sense? So the first thing we do is we switch not what we're doing, but why we're doing it. And we set that as the North Star. All right. The second thing is we need to identify. So everybody talks about, and we've all taken trainings on this and we've all done it, but it's way overcomplicated. Everybody's like, you got to find your avatar. You got to find your this. You got to find your that. You got to find a place where you can present the products or the business opportunity over and over and over. That's all you need. You don't need this huge avatar. You need to find a place to be able to do that. And I'm going to give you a couple of, I'll give one example here because it'll just, when I first started building my business, I did the friends and family thing. But then I live in Massachusetts and I had connections in Massachusetts to yoga instructors, specifically like hot yoga, power yoga type instructors. For 3 years, I did business opportunity presentations to every single yoga instructor in Massachusetts. Whether it was group, whether it was one-on-one, whether it was through Zoom, whether it was sending them something. I didn't need this whole avatar thing. It was like, I got an avenue here. This is the avenue I'm going to go down, and I'm going to get good at it. Because check out what happens. And I want, like, while I'm sharing this story, I want you to think, let me just take a quick step back. Here's the ADD, and I promise I'll come back to where we were. So when I first started, I got my mom's family, my dad's family, my friends from college, my friends from high school, this company that I owned, then the people that work there, kind of the gym community because I used to be a personal trainer, and then I used to teach yoga, so I got the yoga community, right? Here's the way my brain worked: is in each of those communities, besides me, who's the leader, right? And then I went to that leader first and said, hey, I'm going to talk to everybody in this community, or leaders in the yoga community. It was like 3 or 4 of them. I'm going to talk to everybody about this. This is an unbelievable opportunity. I'm running with this thing 100%. Before I talk to them, though, I'd like you to do this with me, and then we can build this together. Guys, this is a huge thing. So number one, identifying the community, but number two, identifying the other leader, because what happens when that happens? Now it's not just Keith with this crazy story. It's, oh, Keith and Mark's doing this too? There must be something here. Let me take a look at this. And the leader liked that I edified them and went to them first. That yoga community, I edified, found a couple of the leaders, got them signed up. Everybody in Massachusetts knows who they are. They all signed up after. Not all. Some. Most didn't do anything. The numbers don't change. But here's the thing my mentor told me. Keith, you have to find a way that you can present the products or the business opportunity every single day, over and over and over again. All right. Comment in the comments when I'm sharing this. What is there a community that you're in that this triggered? Like, is there a community that you're in that you're like, Holy cow, that could work. Yeah, perfect. Jujitsu, off-roading club, musicians, the gym, retired veterans, real estate agents. Yep. Athletic program. Yep. Walking group, gym, nursing. Susan France is direct messaging me, nursing, nurses. Yeah. So I did this with one other community. Two communities built my entire downline. So whether you're building on, so we're talking about, I promise it all comes together. So we're talking about attracting in your dream people and then getting them to actually do something, right? Like that's what when we're talking about recruiting and duplication. How do we attract in our dream team? How do we get them to do something? When you niche down like that, so now this was 13 years ago or 10 years ago, and I'm building on Facebook. And every single new yoga instructor I go to friend, we've got 26 friends in common. We've got 55 friends in common. It just, the credibility starts to build more and more and more. They start to hear about their friends who were signed up for this thing, and it grows on itself. So attracting that, whether you're doing it on Instagram or you're doing it face to face or you're doing it like however you're doing it, finding this niche and being like becoming two things, becoming the person known in that niche and finding the influencers in that niche. That's the biggest thing you can do, is finding the influencers in the niche. Is this too much, guys, or is this making sense? All right. All right. It's all going to come together. This isn't, I'm not the guy that's going to teach you how to make a reel or something like that. This is the psychology of what's going to get you a massive team. All right. So we choose that niche. We find the leader in that niche. We stay in that niche. When you're going out and when you're talking to these people, there's two questions that are on every single one of their minds that they're never going to ask you, but you have to answer. Can I do this? And can she or he help me? If you get them to, on the other side of those questions, they're going to sign up every single time. Said another way, there's two huge roadblocks. I don't trust myself and I don't trust you. The first one is us helping to build up them. The second one, the bigger one, the one that's going to make 95% of the impact in your business, is our self-esteem. This is where this is where network marketing works or doesn't work. Because if we're going out there, again, what are people buying in this business? They're not buying Plexus. They're not buying the drink. They're not buying the business opportunity. They're buying me. They're buying you. And if you're not working on your own SHIT, if you're wallowing in it and you're not growing, they're not buying. Duplication isn't working. Well, recruiting isn't working. Well, my finances aren't in good shape. Well, And yeah, life's hard, all the stuff, right? I get it. I get it. And I see people quit too. I see people walk away from their dreams. I see people give up when it gets hard. I see people fail. And instead of knowing it's part of the process, you're going to fail over and over and over. Oh, it's just easier to watch Netflix tonight. It's just easier to have that bottle of wine. It's just easier to eat the whatevers. It's easier to, like, probably the biggest one is the doom scrolling. Morgan Rieger, 13 Quiznos. That's what we're sitting with. That's the opportunity that we're sitting with. Here's the business plan. Most people get it wrong. The business plan is how bright, shiny, sexy can I become from the inside out? And then how many other people can I influence on becoming brighter, shinier, sexier from the inside out? That's the business model. How does someone like Craig was goofy? Craig was ugly. He used to say that. He was, this is my mentor, builds a team of 70,000 people. You know what his favorite quote is? People don't move products, people move people. And moved people move products. People don't move products, people move people. And moved people move products. It's about us, it's about growing. Here's the beauty of it. Like, the beauty isn't in the hustle. The beauty isn't in the do more, go, harder, harder. The beauty is in us being in our God self, not our ego self. And then that God self comes and posts. That God self comes and talks to someone. That God self comes and does the business opportunity presentation. That God self is showing up trying to help the other woman that is trying to lose the baby weight or trying to do the this or trying to do the that. And we get on a call like this and we think, oh, that's for, what do we get? There's 100, that's for the other 100 people. He's not talking to me though. He doesn't know my story. He doesn't know what I've been through. He doesn't know all the, easy for him to say. So how do we bring the people in? First of all, we start with that we got to identify, right? Craig used to call it the well. Where's the well you're going to go to? Who's the other person that can help you bring people to the well? The next thing he would say is people need to see you as a leader. Work on yourself. Everybody wants to know the magic to leadership. Lead yourself. Guys, so here's the problem with tonight's call. It's broken down and it's made simple. And the excuses aren't going to work anymore. You can tell them to yourself, but deep down inside, you know. I don't know how to attract people. You can become a leader. I don't know how to become a leader. Lead yourself. Love yourself. Have compassion for yourself. Be the parent that your inner child needs. So being seen as a leader from the start is just leading ourselves. If I went to your Instagram right now, would I know that you are looking for people who want to do this business? I'm not going to find them if they don't know we're looking for them. Here's what we think. Here's what we think. We think that we get somebody into this business and then we're gonna coach them and convince them on how to do it, right? Mm-mm. How do we mentor someone? When I'm mentoring someone before I've even met them. Because once they meet me, I have the energy of that's what I'm looking for. I have the energy of I can help you. I have the energy of you can actually do this. I have the energy of let me show you the way. So what's happening is we're getting people in, like comment yes if this is you. We're getting people in and then we're trying to convince them to do something. Right? Like that's hard. Catch this piece. When we're working on ourselves, we're inspiring other people and they're coming to us asking what they need to do. Did you get that? When we're working on ourselves, when we're growing, when we're on a personal development journey, when we're on a personal growth journey, I'm going to touch it for a second on personal growth, what it really is. But when we're doing that, that's inspiring, that's sexy, that's attractive. And instead of us trying to convince other people what they need to do, they come to us saying, what do I need to do? Tell me what to do. And again, some of them are going to do it, most of them are not. But the energy is different. Everybody catch that piece? Huge, huge piece in our business. So all this stuff really comes down to us. It does. It's not about you don't need to be a good marketer in this business because that's not what the business we're in. You don't need to be killer at Instagram. It helps. I mean, geez, I'd love to have 50 people. I would kill it if I had 50 people a month signing up. 5 people, it's the most I've ever signed up though in a month. That's not the skill set that pays in this business. That's not the skill set that transforms lives. Being able to work on ourselves and then being able to help others work on themselves. Real quick, personal development. We've all had it, right? Read 10 pages, do that, right? All that. Here's real personal development. What's the thing holding you back? And what's the tool to move through that? Not what's the tool to understand it, not what's the tool to get more information. What's the real thing holding you back? I'd rather you figure out that, hey, I have an issue with low self-esteem because all this happened when I was younger, and I'm going to spend the year like growing through this and building my self-esteem than reading 10 pages a day. And like personal development, Alita and I were on the call earlier and she asked me a question, like a directed question, like what a specific thing she has to work at. And I was like, I don't know. Because I don't know your like It was like, what personal development thing should I do? And I was like, I don't know, because I don't know the situation, but we each know our situations, right? We each know, hey, this is the thing. And I can keep showing up to these calls for the next 5 years and let my business be the same and keep dreaming about what it could be like and keep dreaming about all the changes I'm going to make, but nothing's going to change until I change. And I don't need somebody else to tell me, like, I know what I need to change. So here's the beauty of our business. So that's personal development. Pretty simple. Make sense? Here's the beauty of our business. We get to build it and we get to grow. We don't have to have this all figured out. We don't have to have all of our issues figured out. We're never going to have it all figured out. But it's not about having it figured out. It's about being on the journey of growing through it. Do something that you're a little afraid of, grow through it, become a little brighter. Become a little brighter. A couple more people comment on your thing, makes you feel better. Makes you feel better. Do another thing that you're nervous about, become a little bit brighter. A few more people, like that's how it works. Does that make sense? So just wrapping this up, take a look at your finances. We went through that, right? Pretty clear. Recruiting and attracting our dream team is about us. Let's identify the things that are holding us back. And let's start with love and compassion and gentleness for ourselves. Start working through some of that stuff. And it's not once we're healed. It's the like biggest BS type thing. Like you're never going to be healed. It's not once we're healed that this all starts working. It's once we step onto the journey. It's when we're on the path. It's when we're stepping in instead of stepping back. Does that make sense? You don't need more and more and more people every month. You find the right people, you go deep with them. Some of them it's not going to work out. Some of them they're going to do a little, some of them they're going to do a lot. How long is it going to take? I don't know. I don't know. What if it never works out? It's pretty damn good education. Pretty, I think that, one of the things in my team that we really focus on is even if it never works out, you're so much better for being in here, so much better for being in the community, like with the love and the support and all of it. Gosh, I'm looking for like I want to hear about, I'll hear from a leader about the changes, about things going on. It's, I'm going to leave you guys with one quick story. Um, Haley Christian, we have this rank called Diamond in my company. So we have this rank called Diamond in my company. It's way lower than Diamond in your company. It takes like three months to hit. This woman, Haley Christian, hits Diamond, stays there for 3 years. 3 years stays at Diamond. And something happened. And 2.5 months later, she was 7-star Diamond, which is like 7 rank advancements. Again, not as high as 7. So the 7 Diamond for you guys. Yeah, so you're gold. It's it's not that you're not capable. It's not that you're like whatever. It's that you're bored. Get excited about it. Get inspired about it. Take action with it. Do the thing. It's going to take a month or two of doing the thing again for it to get so exciting. It takes a month or two of no results, right? If you're just starting back up, your pipeline's not full. All right, I'm gonna stop rambling. I can hang out if you guys want to ask questions. One quick thing. This is my crazy sales pitch. I host the best network marketing training for $7 a month. A leader or someone can post a link in there. You get a 7-day free trial if you want to check it out. I go live Monday through Friday in there. You get more. So if you're like, if any of this was of value and you're like, huh, this guy kind of knows what he's talking about a little bit, feel free to jump in again. It's only $7. And then I can hang out.
Oh my gosh. So good. I can't I can't handle it. I love it so much. The $7 app, I have been just like devout. You are like if it's your curiosity, and if you're like, I want to be with Frank, I recommend going and listening to that. And his dailies are just incredible. So absolutely amazing. Questions. Maybe we'll just take like 1 to 2 questions.
Hold on, I got it. Someone's at, people are asking for the link. Let me see if I can find it.
We can pop it in there for you too. But we appreciate it so much, Keith. Thank you so much for hopping on and doing that. Let me grab. Hey, Lise, could you pop the link in, or Candace or Christy or Megan? Anybody, if you can pop it in there. Oh, Keith did. Okay.
Who has questions? Anyone? Or is that just way too much information to take in?
What is the one thing you don't go to bed without doing each day for your business?
Right now, the daily Keith. That's the most important thing in my entire day. If I look back on when I was really building my network marketing team, I didn't have like a vision board or anything, but I would think about all my leaders and I would pray for them and pray for their lives and see them not as they were, but as they could be. And yeah, like visualize it for them.
I love that. I love that so much. Okay. Well, thank you so much again for just hopping on and taking your time. Every single person should go and get this $7 app. It's absolutely worth it. And we'll be posting links on our team pages and all that stuff. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Keith, for hopping on. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Have a beautiful night.